Modern women actually believe men are walking ATMs ready to flush out cash for them.
It's really interesting to note that, especially within the States, but just in general, the research actually has depicted that women in their 40s is the most unhappiest age group out there. Think about that. The unhappiest age group in all of the world, predominantly, we're talking about the States right now, is women in their 40s. That's 1 in 4 Americans, which is crazy. That's 25% of the population are women in their 40s. And they're the unhappiest group out there. And it's just absolutely scary and it's appalling. And you have to ask yourself, why is that? And at the end of the day, the number one reason why, well, there could be many reasons why, actually. But one of them, as I mentioned beforehand, is it's really all about e-commerce. It's about the pharmaceutical industries. It's about really just making money. It's a multi-million-dollar business for the most part.
Just the other day, I was speaking to my friend who works at a global FMCG corporation that makes everything from chocolate to milk. He told me how there's a quota in the company to hire women as heads of departments, even if there aren't any capable resources, and how the HR is frantically trying to find a good resource who is capable of handling that position. And guess what? They didn't have a capable woman to handle that department, so they had to make a junior woman the head because they were bound by the quota. And now, that woman is boasting about it as if she did something remarkable, and the company's PR team is doing its magic, trying to make it look like the organization is such a great place to work. So, that's what it has come to now. And if you believe this is fair, then you really need to step back and think.
Men want to be alone, but we don't want to be by ourselves. We want you somewhere, like in the dwelling, just not here, just around the corner, in the vents. You can sit in the vent, I don't care if you want to watch me, but on the roof, anywhere, but just not in front of me, trying to be my friend. What you doing? What you doing? Watching baseball? Why you watching baseball by yourself?
Men who go their own way, men are not totalitarians. In fact, they don't hold protests, demolish monuments, or demand increased government spending and control. Men who want to go their own way don't wish to alter the status quo. Instead, they prefer being sigmas to alphas. They enjoy living independently and without having to justify their actions to anyone. And men who go their own way do not adhere to any certain ideology or theology.
Are women happier than men, or are men happier than women? Let's get into it. I got some science for you today. Studies show that men are actually happier than women. Women constantly score higher in neuroticism in psychological studies. What is neuroticism? Neuroticism is a trait that tends to experience negative emotions, like anger, anxiety, self-consciousness, irritability, emotional instability, and depression. Why is this so? Differences in brain chemistry and hormone fluctuations. Women are more prone to stress and ruminate. Men tend to engage in active problem-solving behaviors when they experience stress. And because of their coping mechanism, they are not experiencing as much negative emotions.
The fundamental tenets of men who go their own way include choosing not to get married, avoiding unnecessary conflict, and living without being in a lifelong relationship with women. Men in the men who go their own way community occasionally express a desire for a girlfriend or multiple girlfriends, but never consider entering into a marriage contract. They may even desire to use surrogacy to have a child, even though they are not married.
Yes,
How much do a man gotta make to be with you?
at least $1,000.
A year?
No,
A month?
every day.
$1,000 every day?
Yeah,
He gotta make $1,000 every day to be with you.
yeah,
Why?
because that's bare minimum to me. I need things done. I need my lifestyle.
So how much you gotta make a day to be with him?
He shouldn't worry about that.
So what can you do for a man that making all that money a day?
Bring him peace and happiness.
$1,000 a day.
Yes. Yes. 1,000 is nothing per day.
But you make 1,000?
I make more than that. So
Okay.
that's bare minimum.
These are, once more, unusual circumstances. The lack of want for marriage is the underlying factor, though, as divorce is a brutally taxing financial and emotional experience. Simply put, men who go their own way. Men are against cohabitation and marriage. The gynocentrism, or rather, the feminine privilege that has afflicted modern society, is something that men who go their own way, men are standing against.
Men should always pay on the first date, and this is why.
Okay, let's hear why. Spoiler alert, it has to do with how much money they spent on making up their face.
There's about to be $2,000 on my face, so
How much? Oh dear. Now let's see why it costs almost $2,000 to put on one's face.
starting with Dior moisturizer, $135, Dior capture view serum, $125, Dior primer, $50, Armani primer, $46, Wellness filter, $49, Chanel liquid highlighting drops, $57, Dior foundation, $57, Dior concealer, $40, Chanel bronzer, $60, Chanel multi-use stick, $50, Chanel blush stick, $54, YSL highlighter, $27, Chanel powder, $56, Dior bronzer, $50, Dior highlight, $50, Dior backstage, $48, these Dior blushes, $80 total, Dior backstage, $52, eyeshadow, $68, Dior eyeliner, $35, $68, Bamboo serum, $24, eyeliner, $35, eyelash curler, $35, Dior mascara, $33, YSL mascara, $35, Dior lip liner, $24, Charlotte Tilbury liner, $25, Chanel lip gel, $48, Chanel lip gloss, $40, Urban Decay setting spray, $36. Total cost is $1,745. If you're a girl, make sure the man pays. Don't waste $2,000 on nothing.
Now that we've seen that, let's take a look at the before and the after. Now, it's just my opinion, but I actually do believe that most gentlemen would prefer how one looked before. Spending almost $2,000 to apply product to one's face just in an effort to try to impress someone on a first date, no less. Because it really does speak volumes that someone would spend that amount of money just to try to impress someone. And indeed, it says that women really don't do that for themselves. They do that for men.
Men should always pay for the first date. Why? Because they are supposedly paid more? Or is it because when it comes to actually paying, women forget all the talk of equality?
My number one tip for any women dating right now?
Anyone want to wager a guess what this advice is going to be about? Somehow guessing by the caption that it's going to be about money.
Is to make him pay for everything.
Ooh, it's fun to be right. Now let's see why they think the guy should pay for everything.
If he doesn't pay for you, he will not feel as invested in you because he's put literally actual no investment in you.
So dating is a form of investment now. There's something to be said for transactional relationships, isn't there?
So make him pay for everything. Good luck.
Well, that's all well and good. But what exactly is the guy getting in return for this investment? As apparently that's what relationships are now. A guy being fully invested by paying for everything. But yet, what's the return on that investment? Because after all, just because he pays for everything, that's no guarantee that the woman is even going to stay in the relationship or even remain remotely interested, and could in fact be entertaining other men as well that are also paying for everything. So what exactly is the benefit that the guy is getting out of all of this, I wonder?
Here's something interesting someone had to say about this. Let's do a counterbalance. Guys shower before the date. They need shampoo and shower gel, shaving foam, razor blades, deodorant, and cologne. Women want to be picked up by car, so we still need to include a vehicle, insurance for the car, and gasoline. So by now, men spend more money before a date than women. A tip for all women who calculate such counterbalances. The money you spent on all that makeup would be better invested in character than in filler. And here's another man who says women look better without too much makeup, and I agree. As a man, I prefer when a woman uses less makeup, not more. When I wake up in the morning, I look at myself in the mirror without makeup. My point of reference when seeing into someone is to look past any artificial things, because I do it to myself every day when I look in the mirror. In fact, I find what many women look like without makeup, or with very little makeup, to be very attractive, because I can see you as who you are, not as a copycat of other people. Modern ideologies claim to have freed women, but they have merely made them into glorified corporate slaves. While some modern women don't want to be objectified, they do want the freedom to dress however they like, even if that means being extremely provocative and attention-seeking. They barely cover themselves, go out more, and demand respect from good men at the same time. At the end of the day, these women receive no respect, and a ton of males only want to be with them for casual one-night stands without even thinking about anything long-term. There is still hope for guys and the men who go their own way world, despite all this degradation. As you can see, the foundation is really strong, and a number of men with very different viewpoints are happier than ever. Many boys and men are awakening to political correctness and Me Too movements. Saying something without offending someone is difficult. So, if you come across a volatile woman, you'll inevitably face accusations or manipulation from her. If you want a lot of women but no commitment, go for it. Be always respectful, of course, and resist the temptation to believe that you are neglecting them or working too hard. Go for it too if you want the Sigma way of life. Men do not compel other men to share their viewpoints. They just exchange experiences and promote genuine diversity, which, incidentally, is a strength of their community. Even if many women and brainwashed men think that guys who go their own way waste their time jerking off and playing video games in their mom's crib, many men already believe that this attitude is the weapon that will help men battle for liberation. Well, by that I simply mean that the reverse is true in fact. Most men who go their own way, men have encountered legal inequality at some point in their lives that has left them broke and broken. In addition to other exceedingly complex situations, many women wish to fight against expensive divorces and false accusations. These men came to the logical conclusion that remaining single provides greater rewards, and that other men are intelligent enough to learn from their mistakes. Some males assert that we still appreciate women since there are still many of them around. It's simple for women to access casual relationships these days because they have so many possibilities, especially with social media platforms and dating applications. While some guys are as eager for some quick action as these women are, some men are repulsed by the shockingly high body or notch and would rather keep themselves devoid of human DNA. A man will work 18 hours a day and then come home to his woman only to find her nagging and whining about each and everything in her day and how she wants him to do this and do that. Women love to gossip, they love drama, and they love arguing about each and everything. On top of that, they expect men to listen to all of this on a daily basis. I guess it's for these reasons that men are turning away from women and realizing that it's just not worth it anymore because they bring negativity, drama, gossip, conflict, lies, and dishonesty to the table, which overrides anything good they might bring to the relationship. While men are seekers of peace in relationships, women want the opposite. In case you're unaware of what men who go their own way are all about, keep listening. The mainstream media and social movements that support de facto inequality, a lack of morals, and the decline of the so-called developed countries have limited their methods by characterizing men who go their own way as a patriarchal, anti-woman, radical, and separatist movement. It's not. The truth is that there is a war on men, masculinity, and free thought in addition to the gender war. Additionally, free speech is nothing more than a utopia. This concept, in contrast to whatever narrative the establishment employs to demonize men who go their own way, is assisting thousands of men in escaping social constraints and leading happier lives. This online social community, which is short for men going their own way, is a reaction to a society that values women more than males and encourages men to define and live out their lives independently. It can also be seen as an ideology that empowers males to assert their own authority and acknowledges their freedom to refuse anything or anyone. It offers nothing new. Most modern women, for instance, pay attention since they are about to grasp the essentials of this thinking, how it helps men, and the reasons why some social groups detest it. Men who go their own way are becoming increasingly popular as more guys realize that the traditional life of marriage and children is not a realistic option for them nowadays. Men are becoming more and more dissatisfied with social norms, unfair laws, and disrespectful women. Thanks for watching Man Reacts. Show us your love and support by liking this video, sharing it with your friends, and subscribing to the channel. Support us and help us spread support for men around the world. Do comment and share your thoughts. We're always up for a healthy debate and discussion.